Hey, true believers, Chris Mack coming at you with X-Men Legends issue 8. And I was hoping when I went to my local comic shop to find the sequential issues after the last X Factor book that we went over, but sadly, they were sold out. In the beginning of this arc was issue 7, I believe, and again, sold out. So I dived into this one, and I gotta tell you, I'm excited. This is Larry Hama returning to Wolverine, and to me, it feels like he has not lost a beat. His run to me was one of the best Wolverine runs. So let's talk about who made this. This is Larry Hama, writer, Billy Tan, artist, Chris Sotomayor, colorist, VC's Joe Caramanga, lettering. Here's everyone else working on the book. X-Men was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and of course Wolverine, I believe, was created by Len Wein. The overall premise of this book is in Japan. Where was it in Japan? Hold on. Osaka, Japan. There's 2 mutant girls that were sisters that were abducted. Wolverine and Jubilee were on the way to try to investigate and find out why they were missing. Jubilee gets kidnapped. And to kind of go off on a little anecdote here, one thing that I always enjoyed about not even just Larry Hama's run, but Peter David, Chris Claremont, is I liked when Wolverine in his solo book always teamed up with everyone. Going back to the early issue, or should I say the latter issues of Uncanny X-Men with Claremont, where after the Siege Perilous, Wolverine went to Madripoor, him and what's her name, Jubilee, saved him from not the Marauders, God, Pierce's team. I can't remember what they were called. Anyway, they end up in Madripoor, and they have to save Psylocke from being mind controlled at the hands of, I believe it's Shinobi Shaw. And then, you get awesome issues like Wolverine and Gambit team up. And then Jubilee was always kind of a welcomed addition in the book, in my opinion. So here, kind of going back to that true to form, I'm excited. One thing that I will say, and it's not that big of a deal, is you see this panel of Wolverine slashing through, I believe, these Yakuza. And I wish it was a little more dynamic. Like how you see it sort of like front on. I wish it was more like something like that. I think that would have been a lot more of a Dutch low angle. But I'm a sucker for that. I think that's very dramatic. And I think it's just because of Stan Lee's had to draw the Marvel wave that I'm very, fond of. Anyway, right here, Jubilee, as I say, gets kidnapped. And he has to team up with one of the sisters. This is... The sister that's captured right now is Hino-chan. This is Yuri. And she has this ability to teleport people. So this guy pulls a gun on Logan, and she goes, let's take a trip. She goes, do you like the zoo? And all of a sudden, boom, just in time for feeding. I speak English and roughly German, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce Japanese. But one thing I've always liked about Larry Hama when he would do Wolverine or G.I. Joe, etc., so forth, is he would always give you these little information boxes. So like this says Bon Appetit, and then, or should I say, eat well, drink well. So you can see that this little girl is not taking crap from anybody. And that's what I liked about this book, is just the sheer intensity. Now this villain, what's her name? Gigi, hold on. Gigi. Essentially, they from what I glean, she works with the Hand. You can see the Hand here. Is they sell and trade. It's basically human trafficking for mutants. Yuriko, Lady Deathstrike's kind of on the same hunt as Logan. Or allegedly working with him. I forget. But yeah, it just after that, it just turns into this full-blown battle. And what better way than to go, old school Logan versus Lady Deathstrike to get the old school look of Jubilee. And from what I understand, this issue takes place before Wolverine issue 68. But it's kind of cool as she escapes, I like how Logan just says, darling, I should have figured you'd get out of this, get the better of these sad mooks. And this Gigi character, she is intense. And then I like the rawness of Tan's art. I mean, look at this. This just looks, you'd think that that'd be like a warm-up sketch, but to me, it just adds to the rawness. Again, I wish it was a little more dynamic in terms of angle, something like that, or something like that, but still very awesome. The work, the line work, I think is what really gets me excited. I mean, look at this. Shoom, shoom, shoom. And this feels, like I said at the beginning of the review, like Hama did not miss a beat. It's like getting back with old friends after such a long, what do you call it? I cannot talk tonight, guys. After not seeing them for so long, you kind of feel like you pick up a conversation umpteen years later. And this was very much that. Everything felt true to form. There's none of that awful Krakoan stuff. And I think what got me excited here was the battle with Omega Red. And I was looking on Marvel's wiki for this comic, and they said something like, does this comic book basically predate, what was it, X-Men #4, basically making this like the first appearance of Omega Red? And they're like, we think so. And it's kind of dumb, but I had to laugh because this is supposed to take place back in the day. But just seeing, Jubilee in the book, Logan in the book, Lady Deathstrike, and Sabretooth, this gets me excited. Like, I hate to say it, like I thought this book would be kind of dumb. Like, oh, it's just, kind of doing filler stories. And I hate to say it, but in a world of really lackluster X-Men books, bringing back some of these original creators, Fabian Nicieza, Louise Simonson, Larry Hama, yes, there's that nostalgia factor, but you can see that they still have gas in the tank, and I don't understand why the X office doesn't utilize these veteran writers and learn from them. I mean, hell, they could take notes from Peter David on how to revive X Factor. Benjamin Percy's doing a good job with Wolverine, but to pick Larry Hama's brain and how he established a lot of stuff once he was given the book through the 90s, that people ate that stuff up. But it is what it is. Just to be able to have these type of great old school stories, I'm absolutely content. So guys, if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost, go and support your local comic shop and pick up these issues. They are awesome. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Omega Red bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I will make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.